Okay, I want to tell you a little bit about the assignments. You can see this is the home page. Hopefully that you came down here and hit this class information, open me first, and that's where this video is going to be put, right in this area here, so you'll be able to read it. Again, I want to go over my contact information. There's my office. I won't be in my office throughout the Christmas vacation, but there's my phone, and that's my office phone, but if you leave a message, that comes directly to me in an email. There's my cell number and my text number. Remember, I live out in the country, and sometimes it doesn't pick up out there. So emergency, you can try that. But the best way to get a hold of me is through the email. Send me an email. If emails I get through my phone, I get through my computer, I get through my tablet. So if you send me an email, I'm definitely going to get it. Here's the grading system here. We got quizzes. You got 8 of those. Learn Smarts, you got the Connects, there's 18 of those. Individual project, there's 1. Group project, there's 1. Exams, there's 4. And discussion posts, there's 4. Total of 1,000 points. And I'm going to tell you right now that in previous classes, anyone who's done all the assignments and kept up with everything has either got an A or a B in the class. So if you keep up with everything, you're going to be able to do fairly well. There's also some SAQ quizzes that you need to do, and those are bonus points. Those are very helpful with this class because sometimes you need those extra points. Feedback, I try to respond, and it says 48 hours here. I'll usually respond quicker than that. I check my email daily, 2 or 3 times a day, especially throughout this short semester, this intersession, to make sure that I'm responding quickly. So email is the best way. Feedback on your quizzes and exams is going to be immediate. As soon as you do the quiz, you're going to find out what the score was on it. It takes sometimes a little bit to come over to Blackboard. You may not see it on Blackboard right away, but you'll be able to see it and connect right away. Discussion posts, individual and group assignments are all on Blackboard, and I'll show you where those are all at here in just a minute. So the first thing we got here is quizzes. You'll notice that if you click on quiz, you can click on it from there, or you can come over to the menu over here and click on it too. It takes you to the same spot. You notice the due date on all those is January 12th. That's the last day of the semester. I did that because I want you to be able to work ahead if you want to, but if you get behind, a couple days behind, it's not going to be a big deal. You can catch up. It's a good idea to try to keep up with the information. If you go to the home page, this is the page that you open up to. There's a schedule there. You can print out a copy of that schedule. You can click right here and print out a copy of that schedule. But the schedule shows a recommended recommended sequence in order to do the assignments. Quiz 1 should be done on day 2. If you keep up with this, you're not going to have any problems, and everything's going to be done on time. Discussion posts, I do have a time on those because you have to respond to your fellow students, so I'll talk a little bit more about those when we talk about those. And then the SAQs are some short questions or short quizzes that you can take to get some bonus points, and I recommend taking those. So if we go back to the class information, next thing we have is Learn Smart assignments. I want to show you a little bit about those. I'm actually going to go into one of these to show you. Here's the chapter 2. We go into chapter 2, Learn Smart. And when it all loads up, you're going to have the book over here. You can click on the book. And the neat thing about this is that, this is chapter 1, but that's good enough. The neat thing about this is that you can skim through here. And the important stuff is going to be highlighted. You can go through the whole chapter and just kind of look at the yellow parts. It talks about what's done there. You can look at anything in that yellow is going to be important to the chapter. So once you kind of do that, you want to go to practice, and this is where you get your points at when you go to practice. And there's going to be some questions there. It says the economic questions, a blank is to produce is about decisions related to the mix of factors. So let's say that you're not sure, but you take a guess, and let's say that you say when. Okay, we know that's wrong, but we say when. We hit I'm unsure. It's going to say It's not when, it's how, right? How is the correct answer for this one. So now you know that that's answer. So if it's going to give you this question again, so you just click OK, and it's going to give you another question. And here it says the economic question of blank. One word to produce is about decisions related to the mix, the quantity and type of goods. So you want to check the book on this one. And if you look at it says a different mix of output is what to produce, right? So we found out the answer. We can go back here. We can type in WHAT, and we think, well, I'm pretty sure I know that one, and your answer is correct. So you go through those, and it's going to give you, questions throughout those, and usually it gives you about 10 minutes worth of work there that you have to do. Like I said, anytime you're not sure, you can read about it. If you answer it wrong, it's going to give you the correct answer, and then it'll give you the question again towards the end. As long as you go through that until you're completed, you get 10 points for each one of those. And there's 18 of those throughout the semester, so that's 180 points just in these Learn Smarts. Okay, so if we go back to here, we can see that anytime you're in Connect, you can click Return to Blackboard. It's going to go back to Blackboard. Let's go back to the class information. So that was the Learn Smarts. Okay, then we got the individual project. The individual project, if you come down here, you're going to see the menu item for that individual project. You either go from the one here or the one there. But it has a article here. It's from the Federal Reserve. You need to read that article. It talks about the education, income, and wealth, and how it affects your wealth. Education versus your wealth. Talks about that, and then it has some questions at the end. Looks like there's 5 questions at the end. What I want you to do is I want you to write a paper answering those 5 questions. Here's what the paper has to have. It has to be a minimum of 750 words, right? You have to use at least 2 websites in addition to the ones provided. Okay, so 2 websites besides this website and the textbook. You want to write a paper answering those questions. Make sure that you cite your references, and then you in order to submit that, you just hit individual project submission up here. You come down here. You browse your computer for the paper. You bring it in. Click open, and then submit. Okay, that gets your assignment to me. Let's see. So that's the individual, the team project, and I don't have teams put together yet. But when you have your team, you're going to be 3 or 4 of these together. You can click there on the projects. There's going to be 3 to 4 students that'll be, and you'll have a team site where you have some tools where you can communicate with each other, discussion boards and emails and things like that. But you're going to pick a chapter that you want to do some more research on. So your team will decide on a chapter. Let's say supply and demand. You want to do some more research on supply and demand. So each one of your team members is going to come up with a research question, and you need to come together and make sure that you're not researching the same ideas. But you come together with your questions. You'll have a research project, a research question. You'll research that. You'll write a paper. And I noticed that I made a mistake here. It's going to be 750 words is the correct, right? 750 words is what you have to do. I didn't get that 1,000 words changed up there. But 750 words or more in a paper. You have to make sure that you have 2 other resources, 2 additional web resources other than the assignment details. You're going to write that 750 word paper for each one of the persons in your group, and then you're going to put those papers together with a cover page, and that submission is submitted to me as one paper. So if you have 4 people in your group, you're going to have a cover page. You're going to have 4 different papers that are connected together with their references attached, and you're going to submit that paper towards the end of the semester. And that's your group project. And I'll answer any questions you have about that as we go along. So that was the group project. Let's see. The exams, there's 4 exams. 2 of those exams are going to be taken on campus. 2 of those exams will be taken at home. Exam 1 is scheduled to be taken on campus. You notice again I have January 12th due date here. If you go to the home page, you're going to see that the first exam is going to be by 12/21. So I'll have that first exam opened up on day 1, and by day 4 you need to schedule a time to come to campus and take the exam. Exam 2 is going to be a take it home. Exam 3 will be on campus. You need to come to campus and take this one, and made a mistake there. That should be done at home. Exam 4 will be done at home. So 1 and 3 will be at the testing centers. 2 and 4 will be taken at home. Okay. The discussion post assignments, there's 4 of those. Main thing about these discussion posts is that you want to make sure that you post your first post early, because you're going to post an answer to the question. The first question is, what opportunity cost did you incur in reading this chapter? If you read another chapter today, would your opportunity cost per chapter increase? So what you want to do is sometime in that first week, and early in that first week if possible, you want to come here, you want to click on the discussion post 1, you want to create a thread, and you want to write a response to that first question. You want to respond to that first question here. Okay, write your response there, hit submit, and that's going to go into the system, and then other students are going to read that and they're going to respond to it. So after you respond, you want to look at 2 other students and respond to those. Remember, a post is 75 words. You can't just say I agree. It has to be at least 75 words that you do in a response in the post. So your first post has to be 75 words, and your other 2 posts have to be 75 words each. All right, and then the standard assessment quizzes, and you can get to that there, or you can come to the SAQ quizzes on the menu, either one. Now these are all bonus points, and I've got them all due January 12th, which is the end of the semester, but you have an opportunity to get 59 points in bonus points here, but you have to do them all to get any. If you do all of them, whatever points you get, even if you don't get the full 59, if you get 50 points, that's 50 points bonus points that you get. If you don't do chapter 8 and you do the rest, you don't get any points. You've got to do all the chapters. You've got to attempt all the chapters in order to get any points. So make sure that you do those 59 points could make a big difference towards the end of the semester. So and what you do, that you're going into the Connect site like you did before. It's going to come into the quiz, and it's just usually the quizzes are 3 or 4 questions. This first one has 4 questions. Okay, so you go in there and you take those 4 questions, and the best time to do them is when you're reading about chapter 1. When you're reading about chapter 1, come in here and do this SAQ quiz really quick. There's 3 to 4, I think a couple of them have 5 questions apiece, but there's a total of 59 questions, and it's 59 bonus points that you can get. Okay, and that's get that done. That's the end of the semester. Like I said, anytime you open up Blackboard, it's going to come to this page here. You can go to class information anytime and get that. Here's an outline, a copy of the activity schedule, the calendar, if you want to use that. I would recommend doing that, or at least referring to this calendar here, making sure that you're keeping up with all the assignments. If you have any questions, feel free to text or call. I will be in my office the first couple days before Christmas, but the rest of the time you're going to have to reach me, usually by email. If you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. Thank you.